Hi, welcome to class today. Today we are doing a beautiful stretchy flow class for pregnancy. So I really love moving this way for those days, especially when you're just feeling a bit tight and a bit blah, and like maybe it feels a bit low energy to be doing something high intensity, or perhaps at the end of the day. So props wise, I just have a bolster and a couple of yoga blocks here. If you have those, awesome, grab them. If you don't, a couple of cushions will do the job. So we're going to start in a comfortable seated position. I'm just going to sit up on my bolster, but just taking a moment to make yourself comfortable. And we're just going to close the eyes and turn our attention inward to the breath. Beautiful. Just taking a quick body scan, seeing if you can drop a little extra tension that you might be holding. So relaxing the face, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, soften through the belly and the glutes. And now let's take 5 deep, long diaphragmatic breaths. A reminder of the diaphragmatic breath. So we're inhaling through the nose if you can, and finding this expansive inhale. So not only into the chest like many of us do, but into the belly, into the sides of the ribs, and into the back. In your own time, taking 5 of those. When you finish those 5 breaths, you'll just return back to your normal breathing. Opening your eyes. Just feeling if that helped you to just come into the space, into the present. For me, I always find those breaths very grounding. So now we're going to start with just some neck and shoulder movement and warm-ups. So we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest. Feel that lengthening through the back of the neck. And then taking the head back just slightly. So we're just taking a gaze up to the ceiling and dropping the chin back down. So here we're trying to mostly initiate the movement from the neck. So we're not also adding in the spine here for now. You might find you can drop the head back a little bit further as you move through these. Keeping the shoulders dropped down away from the ears. This time just holding with the chin towards the chest, and option here to add a little bit of weight with the hands. So interlace the fingers, coming onto the head. We're not pulling down, we're just allowing the arms to relax down, which provides that little bit of weight here to intensify the stretch. Beautiful, coming back up. We're going to now drop the left ear towards the left shoulder, really dropping the shoulders away from the ears. So we're not bringing the shoulders up to meet the ear, Really dropping them down and away. Keep the face pointing out instead of down. And drop that ear down, so we should really feel this opening through the right hand side of the neck. Back through center, over to the right. Keep the breath flowing nice and steady. Back through center, back over to the left. This time, optional again, to add a little bit of weight with the left hand. So hand just comes to the head, and then see if you can relax the arm a little bit. Nice. Release the hand. Other side, right ear drops down. And add that bit of weight if you like. Nice. Drop the hand back up. We're going to take the gaze over the left shoulder this time. So keeping the chest face forward, but just turning the head as much as you can. Back to center, other way. Center, back to the left. This time we're taking the left hand, place it on the cheek, and pressing the head into the hand, just gently, but as if you're trying to turn the head, but this hand is stopping it. And hold there. Keep pressing. Take an inhale. Exhale. Take the hand away. And see if you can turn the head just a little bit more. Nice. Center, back over to the right. Take that hand to the cheek, pressing into the hand. It's just like a moderate tension. We're not doing a maximum effort here. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, take the hand away. Keep turning. Just that little bit more. And back to the center. Nice. Dropping the chin to the chest. Let's take some full neck rolls. All the way around. Notice the tendency throughout these to lift the shoulders up. We want to really keep the shoulders dropped away from the ears. Change direction. Nice. Back to center. Let's take the left hand down towards the floor. We're going to reach up and over with the right arm. So pressing the ground away with that left hand. Really reaching. Imagine this right hip as being pressed down into the cushion or the floor. Nice. Sweep the hands in front of you, rounding through the spine. Then taking the right hand down, left arm up and over. Same thing here, pressing the ground away, reaching, really reaching that top arm. Nice. And back to center. Beautiful. Let's come off the prop now and just coming over into an all fours position. And here we're going to start by extending the right leg back towards the back of the room, and then just rocking here, forward and back, feeling a stretch hopefully through that right calf. See if you can maintain a neutral spine here, so we're not coming into spinal extension. Just that little tuck here through the tail. And then we're going to take the heel back, really pressing towards the back of the room, and hold here. Nice. Bring that knee in. Left knee comes back. Keep the legs straight. And we'll take our rocks here. Forward and back. And then hold. Heel comes back to the back of the room and keeping that leg straight, feeling that stretch there through the calf. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, so you can stay facing long ways on your mat. I'm just going to turn, so I don't have too much space there with my wall. So you'll still be in your all fours position. I'm going to take the right leg out again, this time to the side. So now the toes are facing forward and taking a few little rocks back and forward here. So again, keeping that little tuck through the tail. Hopefully you're feeling a nice stretch up through the inner thigh and into the groin. Okay, and now leaning back and holding here. Keep the breath going. Either staying here or there's optional to take that left hand out to the side and right arm up and over and stretch through the side body here. Beautiful. Coming back to the front, taking that leg back to all fours and moving over to the other side. So left leg sweeps out to the side. Just making any little adjustments that you need here and rocking forward and back. We'll hold, leaning back. Staying here, or option to take the right hand out and open up through the left side body. Making your way back, hands on the mat, and coming back to our all fours position. Here we're going to take a puppy pose or a child's pose, so up to you. I like to have my prop here. You can have your cushions. So the puppy pose, we've got the hips stacked over the knees, and then we take the arms forward, keeping the hips high, little tuck through the tail here, so that would be untucked, and we want that little tuck there to keep that posterior tilt. Okay, now we're dropping the chest down towards the floor. You can bring the forehead down. Completely fine if you prefer to take a child's pose variation here instead. You can keep the forehead down, option to take the chin down to the floor. Nice. Let's start to come up. Back into our all fours position. And just rocking off the wrists for a moment and just give everything a little shake out. And roll the shoulders. Just take a little bit of movement here. Okay. Coming back into your all fours position. And we're going to prepare to come into a downward dog. So tucking the toes under. Let's prepare to activate the core here. So inhale that nice deep diaphragmatic breath. Exhale. turning everything on. If you're not feeling a downward dog today, just repeat a puppy or a child's pose instead. Okay? Otherwise, knees up, send the hips back. You might need to take the legs a little wider depending on how big belly is at the moment. And keep a nice bend in the knees. Let's just take some movement here. Nice, keep going there. I'm just going to show an option for the wall instead. So if you have a wall, but you're just not feeling like being in down dog, you can just take the hands to the wall and just do the same thing here. Just getting a little bit of movement in. So a couple of options. Okay. Taking any movement that you like. Bend and straighten the knees. Take some side to sides. Okay. Next we're going to come into pigeon or a variation of pigeon. So if you're still earlier in your pregnancy and regular old pigeon feels okay for you still, then you can come in. We'll do right leg first. So you'll come in and just setting up how you like. Starting to get comfortable here. If it's not really happening for you anymore, belly's too big, it's just not comfortable, then I'll show you two other variations instead. We can do a modified pigeon. So we're just in a 90-90 position, still trying to take the hips forward. And so we're not just turning out to the side like this. So we're turning the hips forward, and then we can come forward as much as feels okay, as much as space allows over that front leg. The other option will be to have both legs in front of you, take the hands behind, and then hooking that right foot over the left knee, and you're still getting that nice external hip rotation there. And then from here, you can bring the leg closer if you have the space for it, or just staying in this position. So picking your option, whichever one is feeling there for you today. If you're in a full pigeon, you can also add cushions, bolsters to help you out a little bit too. If you want to take this one, but belly is sort of in the way, and this just helps to prop that hip up. All right. Whichever option you've chosen, just settling in there. We're going to take a few breaths in a more active version before allowing ourselves to melt in. So in this version, we're going to press this leg down into the floor. Same thing for the other two. You'll press this front leg down into the floor or into the other leg so you can feel it engage. Press, 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 press. Hold for 5, 4, keep pressing. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax, and perhaps coming forward over that leg a little bit more. Nice. Starting to come back up if you are leaning forward. Now we're going to take it over to the other side, If you like, you're welcome to come back through a downward facing dog. So pressing the hands down, scooching that leg up. For everyone else in the other two positions, we're just going to gently come out, bring both feet face forward and change over to the other side. So taking your time to set up. Okay, allowing grabbing any props you need, etc. And now we're going to engage that active version first. So pressing this front leg down into the floor till you feel everything turn on. This back leg also does slightly press down as well. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, keep pressing, 2, and 1. Inhale, exhale, relax the legs. And adding that forward lean if you like. Keep driving this back hip forward. So we're trying not to let that open out. Nice. Now slowly come out. So lifting up. Again, come back through down dog if you like. Otherwise, just bringing that leg forward. Okay, if you came through back up to down dog, just making your way back down to seated position through all fours. And we'll all meet here on the mat with the feet facing down. Here we're going to take a few windshield wipers. So dropping the knees over to one side and then the other. Okay, back to the center. Coming over now onto your knees. I'm going to take a little toe set position. So come up into high kneeling, tuck the toes under, and then see if you can come back onto the heels. If straight away that already feels not doable for you, the feet might be really tight, then you'll just take a little bit of load off, lean forward and take as much weight as possible into the feet. Okay, just taking a few breaths here. And now we're going to add a little bit of upper body movement in. So inhaling, let's bring the palms together in front of you. Exhale, open out, shoulders come together. And here we're trying to drive the chest forward. Scapula come towards each other. Inhale, rounding through the shoulder blades. Exhale, open. Nice, bring the arms down. I know the toes are starting to feel it. Mine are as well. We're nearly done here, nearly. So now we're going to take the arms behind you, reaching back. Either, if possible, we'll take a clasp here. If shoulder mobility doesn't allow for that, then just reaching back with the hands. Like that. Nice. Now we're going to take the hands over to the left. So keeping the clasp if you can, or adding the clasp. If the clasp isn't there, you're just taking the hands over to one side as much as you can. Then we're taking one ear down towards the left side. Back to center. This is the last one. If you must come out for the toes, do so, but we're nearly there. Then hands come over to the right and drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Back up. Release the hands. Whew. Come forward. Feel that heat in my feet. And tap the tops of the toes onto the floor. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, tucking the toes under again, but we're coming up into a high kneeling position. And here we're going to take camel pose. So a couple of variations for you. This is our nice back bend position. So the first option will be just to keep the hands on the low back, so sort of on the hips, but just a bit further back. Or you can also take the fingertips to the low back facing upwards, either of those. From here, we keep a little tuck through the tail, drive the hips forward as we start to lean back, rib cage coming up towards the ceiling. Head can stay slightly gazed forward, up, or drop it all the way back. Okay, that's your first option. Just come out of that. Second option will be to take the hands down to a prop or to the heels. So I'll show you that as well. If you've got blocks or your bolster, you can use those behind you here or this way. So you'll either be to your block, reaching back, and then the other one, or to the heels, reaching back, then the other one. Same thing here, slight tuck with the tail, drive the hips forward, drive the chest up. And we'll hold here for 5 breaths. Keep driving the hips forward. Nice. To come out, release one arm and press yourself all the way back up. Drop back onto the heels, move your prop away. So I love camel pose in pregnancy. It's a really nice alternative to your full back bends, bow pose and wheel. Okay, so now we're going to take a little counter pose for that, bringing the feet in front of you, and we're going to take, moving my butt cheeks out of the way. You can do that too, just to help you sit up tall, or you can pop yourself up on your bolster here as well, or cushions. So taking the soles of the feet together, but taking them a little bit further away than our normal butterfly pose. And we're just going to take a little forward fold here over the legs. So up to you how deep you want to take this. Here we're just slowing and lengthening the breath again. Using the breath to melt a little bit further here.
Okay. Start to make our way back up. Nice and slowly. And then coming back to a comfortable seated position, or you might want to stay in that forward fold a little bit longer. So nice. Just feeling, noticing the effects of that practice on the body, on the mind. I know I definitely feel better than when I came into this practice. Just mentally, physically too, but really sometimes just moving the body just really helps to bring all that crazy thought and chaos just down a notch as well. So let's close the practice today with 5 diaphragmatic breaths like we began with, in your own time, letting go of any residual tension. Even when you think you're relaxed, you could probably relax a little bit more. And beginning those diaphragmatic breaths. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed that class, and I will see you again really soon.